Well, if you weren't at the Kohl Center this past weekend or watching on TV, you missed a couple of entertaining games. Wisconsin rallied from 2 goals down on Friday and settled for a 3-3 overtime draw against Nebraska-Omaha. Then the Badgers led in the third period before giving up 4 goals. The Mavericks prevailed 7-4. Wisconsin 7-6-1, and the Big Ten season begins this weekend in Ann Arbor, Michigan. I'm Brian Posick, the radio voice of Wisconsin hockey, and the Badger Hockey Digest starts right now.
This is what collaboration looks like. This is what happens when a cardiologist in Appleton works step in step with specialists at UW Health in Madison. You see, when Terry's condition required a second opinion, his doctor turned to the cardiothoracic team at UW Health. Together, we made sure Terry got the care and the heart transplant he needed. Powerful minds, compassionate care, amazing results. UW Health, remarkable.
Well, Tony, up and down the ice this past weekend against Nebraska-Omaha, we both figured it would be that way. You get a tie on Friday, and then the Mavericks take it to you in the third period on Saturday, and you fall 7-4. But you can certainly learn from this series as you get ready for Big Ten play.
Yeah, it was an exciting weekend of hockey from the standpoint that the fans were entertained. It was end-to-end action. There were scoring chances at both ends. It's what Dean Blaze and I had talked about in the luncheon on Friday. We don't know what's going to happen, but it's going to be exciting. And unfortunately, the third period there, we made multiple mistakes defensively that allowed them a few easy goals. That was the difference in the series. So I think that was, like you said, a learning experience. We went through it on video to try to point out that, boys, when we play, we're as good as anybody. Mm-hmm. And you can't take a shift off. You can't have a mental mistake, and you can't multiply that by making a second mental mistake on the same play. So I think that's our lesson for the weekend. The positives were we got 90 shots this weekend. 40 coming off of the Denver weekend. So we're getting our offensive chances. We're creating a lot offensively. It's just making sure we play 60 minutes smart without the puck. It's not even great without the puck, just smart. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, other teams are going to score goals, and unfortunately, the last few games you've given up quite a few. Is it all mental, or is there some physical components to it?
Well, yeah, I mean, a couple of them were, you saw a couple of them bounce off us and land on the stick right in front of the net. But when you make the mistakes, I guess, at key points of the game, and you're playing a team that has skill like Denver did and like Omaha did, they're chomping at the bit for it. I mean, they got some pretty darn good players on that side. You make that mistake to a Luke Kunin or Bessie on our side, it's probably in their net as well. So I think that's the biggest thing, recognition of who you're playing against, understanding the time and score of the game, and really staying focused for every detail of the game. And again, our team's learning. We're learning how to win games. And if you looked at the start of the year to where we are now, as coaches, we're still happy. We're still thinking that we're going to have a really good Big Ten season. We think we got a lot of players that are going in the right direction that will continue to develop and help us. And so we're looking forward to the challenges that we're going to get this weekend at Michigan.
Yeah, we'll talk more about the Wolverines in a moment. You mentioned your captain, Luke Kunin, who had a chance to score 4 or 5 on Friday and didn't go in, and then Saturday one goes off his elbow, and then he redirects one for his second. Now, he can put the puck away in various different forms, as we saw this past weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm telling you, for the chances we had in the game on Friday night, for none of them to go in for Luke. Like, if you get those chances every night, he's going to get 3 or 4 every night. Yeah. And then we call him in the shootout, which again doesn't mean anything, but it's for the fans, and it's nice to win the shootout. Yeah. And we say, hey, Luke, you're up, and he's looking at us. He goes, you sure you want me to go after the performance I just had, shoot the puck? And sure enough, he goes down back of the net, no problem. So he's a great goal scorer. He's a competitor. He was mad at himself for the chances he missed, but sometimes you make great shots, and sometimes goalies make great saves. And I would say on 3 or 4 of those on Friday, the goalie was just in a position to make the save, and it just hit him. I think Luke did a great job. And again, the second night, he wasn't scoring by shooting, so he went to the net. He went for tips and rebounds and screen and more aggressive, trying to get those type of goals, and it paid off for him.
Yeah, good lesson for everybody, right?
Absolutely. And Grant Bessie on his goal that he scored, Grant's one of those players that you say, okay, he's got, he finds the puck in the slot and everything else like that. We weren't scoring, he goes to the front of the net for a screen and tip, which was a really big goal on Friday night for us as well.
Sure. Badgers open up Big Ten play this weekend. You know, you look at the conference right now, Penn State's playing well, Ohio State's playing well, Minnesota, Michigan, Michigan State, Wisconsin. Where do the Badgers figure in? More on that coming up in just a moment.
This is Lexi Rush. She's 10, and she's amazing. You see, Lexi was born deaf and couldn't hear anything. That was until her doctor in Appleton referred her to the pediatric specialists at UW Health in Madison. Now, 2 operations later, Lexi can hear everything. Powerful minds, compassionate care, amazing results. UW Health. Remarkable.
I'm excited to get this rolling, and you know, Big Ten's a good league again this year. So I think we're gonna, you know, finish near the top, and hopefully at the top, and good things for us.
Yeah, you feel that way, that strongly, that this
Yeah.
team can compete for a conference title?
Yeah, I think so. You know, we're all winners in that locker room, and you know, anything else doesn't sit well with us. So I think that's what you need to have. You need to hate to lose more than you love to win to be a championship team, and I think that's what we got.
There was a lot of turnover over this offseason, so you know, we were one of the few teams that kind of stayed steady and brought back a ton of guys and brought in a ton of guys that are going to be key impact players. So yeah, we should be able to make some noise right out the gate. You know, it's exciting. It's going to be fun.
Well, I know the players are excited about the Big Ten, and so are you. It's wide open. It's a new season. Let's get it started.
Absolutely, and I think the most impressive thing, if you look at our non-conference record for the Big Ten this year, was outstanding. So it shows the kind of, you know, talent that we have in our conference. I think it's the Penn State and Ohio State have kind of led the charge through the non-conference schedule. So I look forward to seeing those teams as we move forward, but obviously we got to focus on Michigan, who's got a young, skilled team. They're probably going to take a little time to mature and develop, but they're still really dangerous with all that skill. So it'll be a nice test for us to open up, and obviously it's showtime. The non-conference games are great and they're important and all that, but when you get to Big Ten conference play, it jacks it up that much more.
Yeah, Tony Granato played for Wisconsin in the mid-'80s, never got a chance to play against Michigan or coach or play against Red Berenson. You'll get that chance now. He's got, 841 wins in 33 years. Happy birthday to Red Berenson, by the way. But and also Yost Arena. It's like the field house with glass and ice. I mean, it's a beautiful, fun venue to play in, and I know your players will have a kick there too.
Yeah, and I watched a few games there last year. So I being in Detroit, the last couple of years, I saw a lot of Michigan games. Know the program pretty well, and it's a great atmosphere, a great arena, and they love their Wolverines. So we're looking forward to the challenge, and we're underway, so it's exciting for all of us.
Yeah, and we mentioned Luke Kunin before. Congratulations to Luke, invited by USA Hockey for its World Junior Championship team.
Very humbled and honored to be selected for the camp, and anytime you get to wear the red, white, and blue, it's special, and I take pride in that. So it'll be fun.
It would be fun to win a gold medal in Canada too with Team USA, wouldn't it?
Yeah, for sure. Those are always pretty heated games, so looking forward to that one.
World Juniors begin December 26th. The U.S. will play Latvia in Toronto. The gold medal game, hopefully the United States gets there January 5th in Montreal. Quite an honor for Luke, and maybe we'll see another Badger on Team USA?
Yeah, it's a great honor for Luke, and certainly well-deserved. He's done so much for us this year. He's a complete player that USA Hockey is very proud of and proud to have on their team. So I'm sure he'll do a great job representing us. And then Trent Frederick, who's injured now, is probably the next call-up guy if they have an injury. So he's right on in a position that he might be there as well. And he's certainly one that, had he not had that injury with how well he was playing, probably would have been on that team as well. But since he hasn't played the last few weeks, he's their reserve player, and he'll be ready to go. He's practicing with us on his own, I should say, and getting his conditioning back and would be available for World Juniors.
All right, sounds good. Hey, Tony, thanks. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you, Brian.
Sure, that's Tony Granato, Badgers head coach. Wisconsin and Michigan in the Big Ten season opening series from Yost Arena in Ann Arbor. Both games start at 6:30. Friday's game is on ESPN News. You can also listen on the Badger Sports Network. For Tony Granato, I'm Brian Posick. Thanks for watching the Badger Hockey Digest.